Okay guys, today's challenge is a 1999 Mitsubishi Lancer wagon. This is the CC based wagon. We are going to remove this door trim because the customer wants to remove the speakers so he can sell the car. So today I'm going to use three tools: a Phillips screwdriver, my ever trusty pry tool, and a poke tool. That's it. So, first thing we need to do is remove this little button here. It's basically just a cap that goes over the screw itself. And behind that is a Phillips screw. Okay, there is also a Phillips screw in the door handle cover. And this, generally speaking, will just pop straight off without too much trouble. Now, depending on who's been in here, there is a little latch about there which latches onto this, so when you're putting it back in, it's more of a push in rather than a pull out. Okay, if it hasn't been done that way before, you'll probably find this little part has been broken. Okay. There's also a Phillips screw inside the door handle. A lot of times this is rusted beyond use because water comes in through the top of the door, sits in the handle and rusts the screw. Today I'm lucky, it's not so bad. Then we'll pop out our door handle, which normally doesn't take too much trouble. And again, it's really just a little click latch on the side, front and back, and they just hook underneath here. Okay. You can try and take this out. I'm going to try without, purely because this end is already broken. Now, a tip for you guys when you're working on cars: if it's your own car, it's not so bad. If it's someone else's car, make sure you take photos of anything that is already broken before you start working on it. Okay. It's not that people don't trust you, but it just saves an argument later if they say, why is this broken? And you can show them photo evidence that it was already broken before you started working on it. It just saves you a bit of money and a bit of grief. Okay, these are all held in with basically plastic buttons. Just need to find a couple of those and pop them. So all I'm doing is literally finding where the button is rough enoughly, putting my tool in and then giving it a bit of a twist. And that's where the snap sound comes from. Oops, I did forget one screw. This one. I've already done the passenger door. I did the exact same thing that side too. Okay, back to where we came from. Slide our tool under. Okay, that feels pretty good. Everything's nice and loose. Okay, we don't have to take that off, we can get past it. So now that is completely free, I can already see the window controls are popping up, so I might as well, in this situation, pull that out and release the plug. One push, locks in. This is the release catch for the window, so normally that would be hard pressed up in there, and again you could use your tool, slide it under. The difficult part is to get to this part only, and you want to give that a bit of a push, and that will allow it to come past here. So if you can imagine, that's what it's doing, and you just got to get pressure on there to release it so you can lift the front up, and then it will slide out. But like I said, because of the back here, a lot of times it will put a lot of pressure on here because these are old cars now and they do get brittle and they may snap. Okay, pop that corner up and pop that corner up. And that is one door panel removed. These are the plastic buttons we were releasing with our pry tool. There's one missing, but it's on the door, so we'll pop that out, and one there. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that is really bad. This is a Focal K2 Power Series speaker. Not cheap, not ridiculously expensive, but still, this customer spent the money on these speakers because he wanted good sound. The problem is, whoever installed it, look at this, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a gap right through there. Now what I've done is put about 4 washers in there, probably because the magnet on the back of the speaker hits the back of the plastic, and the installer opted to leave the plastic as a rain shield and just pull the speaker up. When you do that, all this gap prevents the speaker from actually producing decent sound. You really want the speaker to be sealed against the door or against the paneling to help the sound come forward, and all you're doing is allowing all that sound to escape through here and lessening the quality. So he could have had much better sound in this car had these been put in properly. Anyway, let's pop this one out and have a look behind the scenes. I can already see washers on the floor. They're falling out from how it's been mounted. This is so bad. And there it is, one Focal K2 Power Series speaker. A little bit of surface rust, it's not too bad. Rust in there is a little bit concerning. And hear that scratchy sound? That is metal filings caused by rust inside the voice coil. This speaker is probably never going to sound as good as it did originally. It is preventable. When you're doing speakers, as you can see, there's not a lot of protection from water coming through the door, especially stuff like that. Water will always come into a door. There's no two ways about it. The idea is to protect the water from going down and going into the back of speakers. Not much we can do about it now, but that's just the way it was installed. And as you can see, a lot of washers pulling this out. Anyway, that is how you access the speakers in the front of a 99 Lancer.